after the 49ers game, during an interview with Brock Purdy, one of the Bosa brothers showed his hat. Nick Bosa, oh my God, showed up a MAGA hat. And that drove the race baiters, the race hustlers, the guys in the media that are only there for race. It drove them bat blank crazy. And it's all the usual suspects. Close your eyes and you're going to know who it is. Well, let me explain something to you. Once athletes got out there like Steph Curry, like coaches Popovich, Kerr, and now Rivers, that's open season for athletes to be political. It just is. And if you don't like it, I get it. I get it. But you know what? Once Steph Curry got up on that stage in that DNC rally and started spewing the stupidity of supporting Kamala, whatever the hell her name is, Harris, I got to tell you, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. But here's the deal. Somehow, some way in this society, we have made it out to be Democrat good, Republican bad, racist. And that's spewed by the fraud race baiters that you see on your television. That, ladies and gentlemen, were exposed by Matt Walsh's Am I a Racist? Now, here's the deal. I love it. I love it because once I saw Nick Bosa do that, I knew what was happening. Close your eyes. Here comes all the race baiters. They cannot stand to see their movement hijacked. This is ours. You must listen to me. I am a black man in the media. I am right. Anything against me is met with that R word. Oh, wait, what is it? Racist. You are a racist. You have to be a racist. You must be a racist because you support someone I don't. Who, oh, by the way, raised African-American wages to an all-time record high, put money in everybody's pocket, and African-Americans are starting to figure it out. But if guys like Al Sharpton, if guys like one of the crazy-ass Horford sisters, if guys like Bomani Jones, women like Jamel Hill, whoever that Dino Dennis Jr. is, if they let that slide by, they can't be significant. They can't make that money. Yo. And they got to make that money, yo, because they have not been able to do it in sports. Bomani Jones was given every show possible on ESPN, NNN. I mean, you had to screw it up. And he did. And then he did again. And then he was given a show on HBO, and then he did. People are tired. You can call me a racist all day long. It used to bother me. It used to bother me. And now I'm like, it's Tuesday. What? Oh, yeah. Who cares? People are coming out of the woodwork to criticize Joey Bosa. All he did was put a hat out. But because he did, now you're supposed to speak up. Now you're supposed to go all that smoke. It's some funny shit. Here's the great Bomani Jones, whatever the hell his name is. He has to do this. If he doesn't do this, who's going to ever pay attention to Bomani Jones? Here he is.
They were doing the on-the-field interview with Brock Purdy and George Kittle. And Nick Bosa pulls up wearing his white hat. See, Nick Bosa ain't really no TV veteran, Sean, because I could barely make the hat out because it was white and the letters on it were gold. Apparently the hat said, "Make America Great Again." Sean, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know they had them in the white. Maybe it matched his shoes. Somebody asked him about it at the press conference after the game, and, I mean, you putting on for Trump.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I think it's an important time.
What you mean you're not going to talk too much about it, partner? You made that call. You did this. You brought us here. You decided that you wanted to put that out there, and it's an important time. Now, to me, the question to ask right there is, why is this an important time? Because I don't know that dude. Last thing I'm going to pretend like I know anything about is what Nick Bosa thinks. On the media end, it becomes important to ask people questions when they ask for attention. He wanted the attention for what he did. Give it to him. I'm not telling that man to shut up and rush the passer. No, I'm telling him to do the opposite. I'm saying, speak up, Playboy. I can't really understand what it is that you're talking about, but I'd like to know a little bit more about your position. Could you tell me, please?
Well, Well, little skinny fella, Bomani, if you don't understand it, good for you. Nobody is under any obligation to ever explain to Bomani Jones's racist ass what they think or what they say. Nobody is. It's obvious what the guy says, and if he don't want to talk about it, he doesn't want to talk about it. Little fella, come on, little fella. I've seen you in person. You weigh 102 pounds. You can't knock over a fly. I mean, stop with the insults of Joey Bosa, little guy. I mean, the truth of the matter is, guys like Bomani Jones, what he just said is meaningless. But we fall for that trap here at OutKick, or at least I do, my producers do, and we talk about it. There isn't anything said in there except a Democratic African-American that's mad that somebody is supporting Donald Trump. And the little guy, the little bald guy, Bomani Jones, the little shaver, he's mad about it. Well, he's mad about everything. If you don't step in line with the little guy, little skinny guy, Bomani Jones, never played, never coached, never could play anything, Bomani Jones, then you get made fun of. Well, so what? So what? I mean, honest to God, the dude had shows everywhere nobody ever watched. And anything that isn't what he wants is deemed racist. There's a common theme among all the folk. They do not follow the great Martin Luther King, judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. They immediately go to the color of their skin. That's what they do. And they're evil. No, they're evil. I was listening to a church thing yesterday, and it's pretty good. I would highly recommend it. Reverend Aaron Brock, I don't know if he's a reverend, pastor, whatever the hell, Traders Point Christian Church. He lays all this out in a non-political way. You know, we're trying to squelch free speech. What they're going to say is, no, we want more speech. No, he made a statement. Of course it's an important time. You want an idiot to continue running our country? Are you insane? Of course it's a big time. Bosa knows it, Jones knows it, but hey, look, Jones can't get that cash, yo, if he doesn't comment and make it. Well, he's trying to be passive-aggressive. I'll give him credit there. Someone named Ashley Nicole Moss. I don't know who Ashley Nicole Moss is, and I really don't care who Ashley Nicole Moss is. All brazen when you pop up in your teammate's post-game interview, but duck the smoke. Yeah, man. Duck the smoke. To stand on business by yourself. Oh, she's got all the cute little words, whoever Ashley Nicole Moss is. Stand on business and the smoke. Who she thinks she is? Mina Kimes was saying all of the cool kid words. You can't. Who the hell is Ashley Nicole Moss? Honest to God. Oh, some little girl that shows her cleavage. What a shock. I'm stunned by that. You don't want all that smoke. If you aim for the king, you best not miss. Host, analyst, CBS Sports. Okay there, Ashley Nicole. Embarrassing. I mean, these little girls on my TV are really funny. Show some cleavage. This is what you're doing in your picture. Get yourself a job, and then try hard. Imagine a white dude, a white woman saying that. Oh, man, she'd go by the way of Sam Ponder. But somehow, Ashley Nicole Moss is someone we're supposed to pay attention to. She's seen in a video going like this. Oh, yay! And now all of a sudden, she's standing on business. That's the funniest stuff ever. I love it. I absolutely love little girls like Ashley Nicole Moss. Hi, Dirk Nowitzki. Hi. Oh, you must stand on business. Oh, Jesus. I mean, honest to God, come on. Come on, people. The dude made a statement. I didn't hear anybody talking about standing on business. When Greg Popovich went on his hate-filled rant about Donald Trump, it was totally hate-filled. I mean, I've said this before about Popovich. Guys from our neighborhood, that he called Trump a wannabe. Guys from our neighborhood that could play went to Indiana, Purdue, and go to Air Force. And then when Popovich was there, he tried allegedly to get a guy named Bob Djokovic, who also came from Gary, to quit. Taught him how to circumvent the 5 years after. I don't know, man. Popovich, who wallowed around, got lucky when they got Robinson and Duncan and Ginobili. He hadn't done shit before, hadn't done shit after. Didn't do shit as a player. I'm guessing he's got a hell of a set of knee pads, though. Oh, it would not be complete without the DEI of all DEI hires. David Dennis Jr. The son of, I guess, David Dennis Sr., noted civil rights activist. We could not get through this unless we had David Dennis Jr. Literally hired for his dad. Actually hired because if he was white and his dad was an activist, I don't think they would have hired him. But anyway, this is the opposite of standing on business. And pretty much cowardly. Why not stand by something you're passionate about if it means that much? He did. He went on national TV. What, because he didn't answer idiots' questions? I've always said this about post-game press conference. Literally, I couldn't imagine being a great player. But when I was a coach, not necessarily when I was a player, but when I was a coach, you'd sit there and you'd go, man, these people are stone idiots. They don't deserve my explanation. They don't deserve it. David Dennis Jr., Bomani Jones, whatever some little girl named Moss is, they don't deserve an explanation. Why do they deserve an explanation? What have they done? They haven't done anything. Oh, crazy-ass Al Horford's sister. Now, Al Horford is the sane one. His brother, John, complete maniac, completely out of his mind, played at Michigan. And his sister is trying so hard. She's like an influencer / I don't even know. She tries so hard to be something. Here's Al Horford's sister. I don't know the hell her name, but here's her. She's mad. Notice a trend here? Notice something here? It's interesting. They all seem to be angry at the white guy. I don't know. Where's Al Horford's sister here? When someone says racism isn't a deal breaker, that means they're racist. So, yes, it sure does. Well, if Anna Horford says it, well, god dang. Anna Horford says you're racist, then you must be racist. I mean, how can you not be? I mean, some little girl whose brother and dad are famous, some little girl I remember her coming to Michigan games. She was all decked out like she was going to the prom. Let's see what she is. A leftist, a writer. Free all these different places. Contact her. Please don't follow solely for Celtics content. Well, God bless Anna Horford Jr. I mean, if we didn't hear from her, how could we be? How could we be? She's big on Palestine. She's an idiot. She really is. I mean, I used to watch her come into Michigan games when my son was there and laugh my ass off. Always the big production. Keep trying, Anna. It's going to happen for you. I swear to God, Anna Horford, it's going to happen for you. It will. I get it. Everything's racist. No. Here's the deal. I judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I always have. And I know that these people that I just mentioned have no character. They're just out there throwing whatever they can against the wall. It's like that movie, Am I Racist? These women, 2 of them, get paid like $5,000 a piece to go have dinner with people. People charge $30,000 for workshops that were complete bullshit and exposed by Matt Walsh. It was glorious. Judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. These guys can't do it. And of course, journalist and perpetual victim Jim Trotter, he penned a column in The Athletic complaining about the league not disciplining Nick Bosa. Boy, they want free speech squelched. Now, they're going to say, no, we want more speech. No, he made his statement. Nick Bosa made his statement very clear for wearing a Make America Great Again. Imagine that's a bad thing. First penned by Ronald Reagan, then copied, as most things were, if not killed, by President Clinton. So Clinton copies it. He doesn't squelch it. He copies it. Now think about that. Think about Make America Great Again by the greatest communicator. That's what he was saying, Reagan. And then instead of squelching it, killing it, getting rid of it, Clinton used it. How about that? Now because Trump uses it, Make America Great Again. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, it signifies. What does it signify? I don't know. A couple threats on Trump's life, but what does it signify? And this makes guys like Jim Trotter. Again, Jim Trotter has sued everybody. Everything's racist. Everything's prejudiced against Jim Trotter. Trotter says the league probably won't discipline Bosa because he's white. And then saying that the league only disciplines black players like Colin Cowherd, Colin Kaepernick for on-field demonstrations. Fail to take some sort of action would suggest the presence of a double standard and raise the question of whether the league is more comfortable with a white player using its national spotlight to endorse a political candidate than it is with black players demonstrating against systematic racism. Yeah, I get that, except it's a different world, and these guys know that. Hey, look, once you got Popovich and Kerr and Steph Curry and Rivers and others, once you have those guys out there openly campaigning for a candidate, it kind of opened the floodgates for this. Now, I get it if you want to say there's a league policy and you can't do it while in uniform on the field. Hey, look, I'm down to clown with that. Is there? If there is, let's go. You know what I mean? I think saying make America great again is a little different, I don't know, than kneeling for the national anthem. And I'm not sure that Kaepernick was dealt with for kneeling for the national anthem. I'm not sure he was. I'm not sure he wasn't. Was he suspended for it? I apologize. I really didn't look into that because I'm tired of Kaepernick and everything about this entire subject. You know, Jim Trotter, though, amended his statement saying, full disclosure, this is a watered-down version of the original column because Jim Trotter is going to get really pissed, and we should all stand at attention because Jim Trotter's mad. I was not allowed to properly, IMO, contextualize the significance and consequence of the moment because I was told I'd be in violation of the New York Times journalistic standards regarding sports and political commentary, but that's a discussion for another day. Further correction. I should have referred to it as a violation of the athletics journalistic standards and not the journalistic standards of the New York Times. Look, I get it. You're mad. But nobody has a problem when Steph Curry's doing it. No one has a problem when Doc Rivers is doing it. No one has a problem when Popovich is doing it. Why? Well, it's against the white man. It's against the white man that there is an actual syndrome for. Trump derangement syndrome, and they all have it. Speaking of Doc Rivers, here's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, America's most overrated coach, he's urging black, brown, and Latino people to vote against Trump after an awful Madison Square Garden rally. Now, I got to tell you, maybe it was awful. I don't know. But what I saw, and I tried to see both sides, it did not look too awful to me. It looked like people were having a good time. And there were a lot of people of, let me make sure I have this right, black, brown, and Latino there. And they seem to be celebrating. And they seem to be enjoying themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I am. But that's what it seemed like. Why is everything done by Trump have to be met with some kind of stupidity? Awful, terrible. And, you know, the problem with Doc Rivers is he's not smart enough to articulate it because he doesn't really believe it. Doc Rivers and these guys making millions understand one thing, money. They do. Not voting for Harris. But, hey, Doc Rivers, here's Doc Rivers. You can barely hear him. And if you really listen to this, now Popovich hates Trump. You can tell that. That's something deeper. Rivers is brought into this, and I assume paid by the Harris campaign because his commercials are the worst commercials ever. And he's trying to stand on business. Here's Rivers.
If you saw Madison Square Garden, I mean, come on. Like, right? So, to me, it's so important to vote. I'm going to keep it as close to that as possible, but my gosh, you know, and when I tell people the guy was so great, and why did 80 million people vote against him, you know, in the last time he ran, you know, so I don't know. I don't get it. I don't, but we got to do something about that. Was atrocious what we saw. If you're a black man or a woman or brown, Latino or Puerto Rican, or they hit everybody, you know, and it was awful.
Hey, Doc, guys.
Yeah, Doc Rivers doesn't know what he's talking about. He's paid to say that, apparently, allegedly. I mean, there's no way. Like Popovich had, you know, and Kerr, they hate. I mean, they got white boy hate in them. You know, you can see it. I mean, back in the day, they'd have been part of something far more nefarious. You can see it in their eyes. But Rivers is like, yeah, man, they're paying me to do this. It was terrible. It was awful. Or maybe it's a Marquette education that he didn't get. I don't know. But Rivers is a pretty smart guy. He's certainly a savvy guy. He's managed to get some of the best jobs in the NBA. But damn. I mean, I get it. Look, I would love to have somebody tell me, other than normal bullshit, I would love to have somebody tell me why I should vote for Kamala Harris. Other than, well, you know, she's a black woman or whatever she is. I mean, tell me, what has she done? What did Trump do? Did he deport people? Did he put people in cages? What did he do when he was president? And don't talk about kids in cages. That was Obama's thing. And Trump actually lessened it. I would just like to know that instead of being called garbage or being called Nazis or being called anything else. As a quick reminder before we get to anything else, that the Democrats always accuse the Republicans of racists while simultaneously being the political party that constantly identifies people by race. That's all you hear. It's a tradition. It's like reflect onto others, project onto others what we are doing. You ever hear he doth protest too much? That's one of my mottos too. I always pay attention. My son, last night actually, we had a conversation and I could tell, I'm like, yo, spit it out. What happened? He goes, how'd you know? I go, he doth protest too much. I start laughing. For example, Doc Rivers just did it in his answer. Instead of saying that, in his opinion, Donald Trump is not who he would vote for and encouraging everyone to agree with his opinion, he instead only singled out non-white people. It's amazing. The party of racism, party of anger, used to be the party of joy, at least I heard. It used to be the party of inclusion. Yeah, I don't know. This is fascinating to me. This right here is absolutely fascinating to me. It really is. I got to get to this before we go to break. So now there's a butthurt guy, shockingly enough, on America's liberal website, Awful Announcing. Tom Brady used the word spaz. And like anything else, anytime you use a word, somebody on the left is going to get offended. This time it's some clown from Awful Announcing. See, Awful Announcing is run by a guy named Little Fat Benny Koo. Little Benny Koo started this website. And Little Benny Koo hired a bunch of liberals to get on his website. At one point, it's a pretty good website. At one point, everybody got all excited and said, hey, it's pretty good. And in the industry, in the media industry, you paid attention to Awful Announcing. Now it's gone so far left, you can't pay attention to it. Although little Benny Koo, who's come after me many times, much like Ryan Phillips and the guys at the Big Lead have come at me, it's kind of fun. I kind of dig it. But here it is. Here's Tom Brady and everybody getting upset.
Loves it speaks so much more than just the physical ability of a quarterback. You really begin to take that total ownership of the team as a leader in workouts in the off season. How you communicate to everybody and integrate new players becomes a great challenge for a quarterback like Josh, who has really lit the league on fire since he's been in. Sometimes he played like a spaz, like a great schooler on a sugar high. But now he's controlled the chaos. He's like a storm coming into town, and you don't want that storm coming into this town.
Oh, I like it. It's like a movie trailer.
Yeah, and apparently that hurt a kid named Brandon Contes. Brandon is always upset. Brandon wants to make sure that everybody walks around with a condom on their heads, and no one can insult anybody. And he's always sniffing around, this guy Brandon Contes. He's always sniffing around to see who said what. He's never actually involved in saying or doing anything. He's just always like that little brother. Mom, this is what he said. Mom, this is bad. Mom, did you see what Tom Brady said? Mom. I mean, honest to God, it's fun, and that's what that website has become. We're going to sit back here, not actually create anything, just react to anybody that says a word that we can possibly twist into something nefarious. It's a new thing in media. It didn't really have. The spaz was a strange choice by Brady. It's a term that has been deemed wildly offensive in the UK. I can't keep up with all the countries and all the offensive words, but little Brandon Contes, whatever the hell his name is, in the UK, they don't like this word. In the UK, hey, look, in Serbia, we don't like, okay, great, because of its history as an ableist slur for people with disabilities, especially cerebral palsy. The term isn't considered quite as offensive in the United States. Well, thank you for that, Brandon Cortez. Thank you that you are deeming it how offensive it is or it isn't. But it's still meant as an insult to describe clumsiness, stupidity, or physical ineptness. Yes, it is. That's right. He insulted him, Josh Allen. Are you not allowed to? Not in Brandon Cortez's world. We're all supposed to wear a condom and not talk to each other. Don't say a word. If you do, I will write an article. World is nuts. Think about all these sorry-ass people that I've talked about today. Brandon Cortez, some freaking nondescript Horford, Jim Trotter, Bomani Jones, some little girl on TV, Nicole Smith. I don't know what the hell her name is. Think about these sorry-ass, but none of them do anything. None of them ever done anything. None of them ever built a business. None of them have ever signed the front of a check for employees. None of them have ever played a sport, but they got the answers to everything. Yeah, it's deemed as an offensive term. He didn't say it as a compliment, you idiot. Well, in the UK, spaz is, well, you know, it's deemed as offensive. I guess I got to go through the dictionary of every fucking country in America. Sorry, Mom. And see which one is which. All right, now, if I say this goes back to Bill Clinton. I guess it depends on what the word is. Jesus. Brandon Cortez, I got 2 words for you. My ass. Print that, bitch.